Hurricane Francine tells us a lot about the storms to come. Even quiet seasons can produce very significant weather events. A week ago, the much hyped hurricane season was looking like a fascinating dud. Forecasters had projected an incredibly busy summer and fall, with many predicting the worst season in modern history. But after an early encounter with Hurricane Beryl, which made an unusual June landfall in Grenada as a Category 4 storm, there has been hardly any activity at all in the Atlantic basin, leading meteorologists and climate scientists alike to wonder what happened and why the terrifying seeming season fizzled out so spectacularly. The waters of the Atlantic remained astonishingly high, meaning that any storm to pass through the waters of the Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico was likely to become a powerhouse. Nonetheless, weather patterns farther offshore seem to have shifted the geography of storm formation. Tropical cyclones were not appearing off the coast of Africa, where they typically begin their trip westward, but over the continent instead, producing pretty much unheard of meteorological activity and delivering historic amounts of rainfall to the Sahara. Hurricane Francine, which made landfall in Louisiana as a Category 2 on Wednesday, isn't exactly a historic storm, though it has produced a widespread flooding and power outage for hundreds of thousands all along the Gulf Coast. But as a sort of twinner weather event, it does illustrate several features of the new page of climate history we are all now living through, having left behind the window of global temperatures that includes all human history and all of our previous experiences of hurricane, forced even quiet season and unexceptional storms can generate an awful lot of damage and disruption. Some of that reflects the increasing level of valuable stuff we keep building blindly in harm's way. But it also means that even relatively small increase in the actual intensity of extreme events can produce the enormous increases in weather damage. Increasingly in the United States, normal seeming meteorological events are imposing costs in the hundreds of millions or even billions of dollars. Second, though, many people assume that warming will increase the number of hurricanes. In fact, climate science is much more confident that it will make a larger share of them high-intensity storms, perhaps even necessitating the creation of new levels on the category scale. And third, the behavior of individual storms is itself being changed by warming, which seems particularly effective at getting them to intensify much more rapidly. As Hurricane Otis did last year in Acapulco, Mexico, growing from a tropical storm to a Category 5 in barely one day. Warming can also make them slow down or even stall right at landfall. often producing more damage in a single place. At the moment, Francis feels like a bookend to a surprisingly quiet season, but there may well be more to come, given that roughly half of the season lies still ahead of us. In the further future, the pattern is even more forbidding, with one recent paper suggesting that without rapid emissions reduction, nearly three-quarters of the planet could experience unprecedented weather events over just the next 20 years.